Welcome back. All right, so we're going to talk about Robert Lang today. Career video for all you fine people on the internet. He was a number 133 pick of the LA Kings back in 1990. He did not make his debut in the NHL until 92-93. Now, he was born in Czechoslovakia. By the time he's playing in the NHL, it's on the verge of becoming the Czech Republic. It would become the Czech Republic between 1992 and 1996, but we'll discuss that in a bit. So 92-93 in his debut with the LA Kings, 11 games played, 5 assists. So as a player who's drafted 133rd overall, not a lot's expected. And really his career with the Kings, there's not a lot here. And it could have ended with his time with the Kings. 93-94 plays 32 games with LA, 9 goals, 10 assists, 19 points. Solid offensive numbers. They take a bit of a step back in 94-95. This is a lockout shortened season though. So he plays 36 of the 48 games that year, 4 goals, 8 assists for 12 points. So, bit of a step back there, and then his final year with the Kings is 95-96, 68 games, 6 goals, 16 assists, 22 points. So, with those 4 years done, he opts to go home. He takes a year off from the National Hockey League. 96-97, he plays in the Czech League, and then September 2nd of 1997, he signs with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So the Penguins decide to put him on waivers, and he doesn't clear. The Boston Bruins claim him on waivers on September 28th. He only plays 3 games with Boston, though he doesn't record a point. So this is not one of those Boston ends up getting a steal here. In fact, on October 25th, he is claimed on waivers by the Pittsburgh Penguins. So they get the guy they signed. And he's going to play with Jágr at some point here. Now, that first year with the Penguins, 97-98, 51 games, 9 goals, 13 assists for 22 points. In the playoffs, he adds 3 assists in 6 games. So in Pittsburgh, he's fitting in a lot better, and it really shows the following season. 98-99, 72 games, 21 goals, 23 assists for 44 points. In the playoffs, he adds 2 assists in 12 games. So, again, fitting in much better in Pittsburgh. Him and Jágr really had some good affinity for one another. And yeah, so 99-2000, 78 games, 23 goals, 42 assists, 65 points. In the playoffs, he adds 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points in 11 games. So again, the numbers are good. And 2000-2001, they get even better. 82 games, 32 goals, which would be a career high. 48 assists for 80 points, which is also a career high. In the playoffs, he adds 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points in 16 games. So Pittsburgh goes on a nice run, but things in Pittsburgh are going to get ugly. The trading of Jágr will have its effect. And just in general, Pittsburgh's going to head into a rebuild. So his last year in Pittsburgh is 2001-2002. 62 games, 18 goals, 32 assists, 50 points. So his contract comes to an end. And as a free agent on July 1st, he signs a contract with Washington, which according to one of the books I used to set up this video was one of the reasons the NHL was in trouble. So the NHL going into 02-03, there's a lot of discussion about how expensive these contracts were getting, as if the GMs aren't signing them and as if the owners aren't allowing it. I always thought it was weird, the whole, we're losing all kinds of money. Then stop spending all that money. If you don't have it, stop spending it. That was my opinion at the time. But he gets a contract worth $5 million a year, and this was seen as, this is one of the problems. Lang's not worth $5 million a year. And it clouds the opinion of players at the time. There are players who might have a good year, but still fans would shrug their shoulders and go, yeah, he had a good year, but is it worth $6 million? Is it worth $7 million? And so that's where that kind of gets started. We still see that, where a player will have a decent season and go, he had a good year. And somebody immediately will retort, yeah, but he's getting $8 million a year. He's not worth it. So that's out there. But his first year in Washington, remember, Jágr's in Washington. So 82 games played that first year, 22 goals, 47 assists, 69 points. He adds 2 goals and an assist for 3 points in 6 playoff games. And being reunited with Jágr definitely helps. Now, 03-04, the Capitals are on the verge of this whole rebuild thing too. And it's weird because right now, if you look at the National Hockey League, Washington below the playoff line, Pittsburgh just above the playoff line, and you get the feeling history is about to repeat itself where both franchises are going to have to retool or rebuild here. But he plays 63 games with the Caps and is in the midst of his best season ever. 29 goals, 45 assists, 74 points. And he might have ended up being the scoring leader for the entire National Hockey League that year, if not for injury. So, he played in the All-Star game. February 27th, he's traded. Traded to the Detroit Red Wings, right? For a 2004 first-round pick, which ends up being Mike Green, so good job on that first-round pick, a 2006 fourth, and Thomas Fleischman. Fleischman, at some point, I should do a career video on as well. But after arriving in Detroit, he only plays the 6 games, 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points. And like I said, an injury late in the season costs him the scoring title that year. Marty St. Louis would end up winning it instead. So in the playoffs, he adds 4 goals, 5 assists for 9 points in 12 games. So decent run for him there. 05-06, first full season in Detroit, 72 games, 20 goals, 42 assists for 62 points. In the playoffs, he adds 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points in 6 games. So not bad. And again, that's after the lockout took out the 04-05 season, or else he'd have over 1,000 games in the National Hockey League in his career. 06-07, 81 games, 19 goals, 33 assists, 52 points. In the playoffs, 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points in 18 games. Is it worth $5 million a year that he did this? Maybe not, but either way, he finishes out his contract and then signs in Chicago on July the 2nd. He had a good year in Chicago as well. 76 games, 21 goals, 33 assists, 54 points. No playoffs. Well, Chicago's on their way up. That being said, they decide to trade Robert Lang. They trade him to Montreal on September 12th before that season gets started for a 2010 second-round pick. And what they get here is a player who plays 50 games in Lang, 18 goals, 21 assists, 39 points. An Achilles injury ends up ending his season that year. So through no fault of his own, he only plays the 50 games that year, which again keeps him just below 1,000 games in his career. In what would be his final season in the NHL, he ends up with the Coyotes. He signed on September 29th as an unrestricted free agent to play the 09-10 season there. Plays 64 games, 9 goals, 20 assists, 29 points. In his career, 989 games played, 261 goals, 442 assists for 703 points. In the playoffs, 91 games played, 18 goals, 28 assists, 46 points. Playing for Czechoslovakia, he had a bronze medal at the Worlds in 1992 and also had an Olympic bronze that year as well. And then representing the Czech Republic, gold. Gold at the Worlds in 1996 and bronze in 1997. And at the Olympics in 1998, he had gold, and in 2006, he had a bronze. So Lang seen as one of the leaders for that Czech team, and they get themselves some medals there. December 17th of 2015, Lang is inducted into the Czech Ice Hockey Hall of Fame. So for Lang, good solid career, and again, this is why when I'm talking about young players, I don't get into, well, this guy clearly isn't good enough. He's not, because that was the conversation with Lang when he was with LA. Whether it was defensive deficiencies, whatever other reasons they could find, there was a reason why Lang wasn't going to stick around. And again, Boston, for the smart moves they made, they didn't keep Lang around. They only had him for the 3 games. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.